Hello and welcome to In Deep, where we discover the talent, inspiration and challenges behind our favourite film, television, games and advertising. I'm Ross, back for this special Friday stream. Thanks to Ed and Lily, who chatted to Jamie Thomas and Natalie Pitters over the last couple of days. If you are into sound design or cinematography, please go back and check that out after this stream. They were very, very good. Now, before I introduce my guest, I just want to give a shout out to the chat. So say hi if you're there. I know that I can see that Tara from Wizzo is there. Hello, Tara. Hello, Lily and Ed and Nick. Hello. If you guys are there, make sure that you say hi and drop any questions at any time, because we'll do our best to answer them on the fly as we go through it. We've also got a prize to give away to the best community contributor over this week. Along with whoever spotted and dropped the "Gimme 5 points" comments in our videos from the promotion on the dots. In short, if you bring the goods, you're in the mix. So I'll be drawing a random winner at the end of the stream with tickets for our wonderful supporters, 5 Points Brewing, who you can see here, for their brewery tours. And I'll be using some wonderful technical digital magic to do that. I swear it's going to be worth it. Stick around. It's only going to, but you have to stick around to the end to see it. Anyway, so yeah, basically get chatting, and I'll pick you out and put you in the mix. Anyway, with that out of the way, I'd love to start to introduce our special guest and showing you where you can find her. Her name obviously is Robyn Rowan, a hairstylist and makeup artist who is represented by Wizzo Co. You can find them via Wizzo Co, of course, .co.uk for all those details, but Robyn's personal site can be found at robyn-rowan.co.uk. Her socials, of course, are by.robynrowan for her professional page, and then, of course, Wizzo can also be found at Wizzo Co. So feel free to reach out to them through that. Sadly, Robyn can't claim my incredibly rugged and handsome look as a creation of her own. No, that is entirely mine. But she has helped create a fantastic array of works that millions can and have enjoyed. She is, of course, waiting on the line right now. So without keeping her any longer, I'd like to welcome Robyn Rowan to the stream. Robyn, how are you doing?
Hello, everyone.
You good?
Yeah, I'm really good. Thank you. It's a lovely day today.
Yeah, it's a lovely day to just get on a web stream, right?
Yeah.
It's a perfect day. Where are you held up at the moment?
So I live in Bromley, which is East London.
Nice. How is Bromley? Bromley by Bow or Bromley?
No, Bromley, South London, Bromley.
Oh, I see. Nice.
It's nice and quiet, actually. It's not the hustle and bustle of London, so our parks are empty and the supermarkets aren't that busy, so it's good.
Nice. What's getting you through this wonderful ordeal at the moment? Have you got any new hobbies or vices?
Well, I've started running, which hasn't everyone.
I haven't. I thought about it, but I haven't. No, how's that going for you? Is it good?
Yeah, it's actually going really well. I used to be one of those people that couldn't run like 5 minutes down the road, but now I can run like 5K, maybe 6.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Damn, that is incredible. So, how has isolation affected you in good? I mean, that's a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, apart from the obvious, has it affected? I mean, like, were you working on anything immediately? Did anything go away just before this thing hit? Or is everything okay in your life at the moment?
I mean, obviously jobs got cancelled when all this started happening, but I worked pretty much right up until lockdown started.
Mm-hmm.
I was on a shoot for FIFA literally the 2 days before Boris announced lockdown. So
Wow.
It was pretty intense, and everyone was like wearing masks already and trying to stay away from each other. It was interesting.
Yeah, you haven't had to do a remote shoot or anything yet, right? Or maybe
No,
no.
I've heard some people are doing that actually.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The people that we've spoken to, it's really interesting. I really was kind of hoping that you had, because I wanted to hear what
Oh no.
how you'd go about, because of course Anna Rose was on the other day and she was talking about having to do art direction and production designing
Mm.
remotely via Zoom. So I'm trying to imagine what teaching somebody how to apply the makeup look that you have.
To be honest, I have heard. I think it was Neighbours, the show.
Uh-huh.
They were getting a makeup artist over Skype to direct and show them how to do things and where to put powder and stuff. But
Whoa.
I mean, it's just that's not really the point of our job, is it? We want
No,
to get in there and do it ourselves.
absolutely, absolutely. It would be absolutely surreal and strange to do that. Actually, I'm not going to show this page. I've got a little thing there. We're not going to show that one. Ignore that, guys. Just ignore that. You'll see. I'll save that for later. Yeah. So there's lots of things I wanted to discuss with you after our first chat. You're a bit of an entrepreneur as well as a successful hairstylist and makeup artist. But before we get to that, if we could start back at the beginning of your journey, where do you think your journey or interest in hair and makeup began?
Well, I mean, I always had such a passion for beauty from such a really young age. Like, I was always wanting to do people's hair. I always wanted to do makeovers.
Hmm.
I was always the one at school that like knew how to do braids. So I would do it. I would do braids on everyone in my class.
Right.
Mm.
Oh,
So yeah, I had such a passion for it from the beginning that I kind of am lucky now that that passion I could then turn into my livelihood.
hmm.
I think that it's quite rare to have a job that is such a passion.
Yeah. And so how did that job start, like professionally? Did you begin assisting somebody? Is this something that you always kind of knew that you wanted to pursue it and enter on the professional field, or did you fall into it? How did that begin?
I definitely knew that it was the direction that I wanted to go in. I just didn't quite know all the routes that you could do as a hair and makeup artist. I started off in salons, which I think is quite a natural progression for people,
Okay.
like wanting to just gain some kind of working experience.
Hmm.
So I worked in a few salons, and one particular one called Taylor in Shoreditch. That's where it really started kicking off because I was obviously a junior, sort of learning and assisting there, and the people that worked there, they were going off and doing shoots and London Fashion Week, and
Hmm.
I was like, wow, this is a whole new world of the hair and makeup industry that I hadn't really seen before.
Right.
Um, so I was a little bit hooked and I wanted to know more. So I kind of just started telling them, if you're going on a shoot, like I don't mind coming with and I'll help you out. And I was only like 19, so it didn't matter if I was getting paid or not at that point because I just wanted to know more and be involved. I wanted to be a part of that world.
Amazing. Yeah. No, totally understand. And so when did it start to sort of click for you professionally, and start you were just like, well, this is me. I'm doing this all the time. And you was it like sort of was there a defined thing where you were just like, okay, I'm not working in the salon anymore. This is me. This is my full-time gig.
Yeah. I mean, I think assisting work got so busy and I'd met so many people from going on different jobs and I was sort of being passed around a lot by other artists, um, that it became a full-time job and I didn't have time to be in the salon anymore because
Mm.
I was constantly getting called to be like, can you come on a shoot? And there's only so many sick days they'll give you.
Yeah, I bet.
Before I just had to throw the towel in and just go all out, which is scary because I'd never been freelance before and I didn't really know anyone that had been freelance. So it was scary to not know or have the security of a full-time job.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's good. It's good to have two people in a row, because Natalie, who was on yesterday, was a cinematographer. She was also talking about taking a regular job and then claiming as many sick days and holidays as possible to kickstart her career. So
I mean, after a while, they sort of are like, "Are you really sick, or what's happening here?" Only so many things you can say. Get out of work.
So, what is it about hair and makeup, specifically your role when you're on set, whether it's for live events or working with artists? What is it about the role that do you have something that you just like? This is the one thing that I especially love about your. It doesn't have to be one thing; it can be many things.
I mean, I think personally, it's my way of having a creative outlet. Like, this is how I express myself and how I am creative. So I think, yeah, I mean, I personally love natural, beautiful makeup and sort of not really the character making someone into something else vibe of makeup. I personally like more beautiful, real people. I love working with real people and real skin and all kinds of different people that I can.
So it's more about sort of amplifying or bringing out stuff rather than sort of like going, I'm going to fix you.
Like I've got some friends who are makeup artists that love making characters and making people look completely not what they normally look like. You know, adding fake noses and different skin texture and stuff, whereas I'm the complete opposite. I love making people feel beautiful in their skin and making them feel good in that way and just enhancing their natural beauty.
Yeah, I think that's a brilliant way to look at it. I just want to quickly give a shout out because I see there's a lot of people in the chat there for us. Just so you're aware of it, Linda Walsham, hello Linda. Helena Drozd, Sophie Land, always Sophie, love to see you. Toby Walsham. This is double Walshams here today, and Jess Jono. Oh hey Jess. Lovely to see you guys. If anybody has any comments, or questions, feel free to fire them out. Definitely, Tara. You can always set up. It's fine that you represent it. You can always ask questions you've always had in mind. I'm just going to be scrolling through your website. Actually, a few of the images you've worked on a large array of really amazing campaigns, both still and moving image. But which projects or experiences do you think have tested you, or that you can recall that maybe you've learned from the most?
I mean, I think every job you tend to learn something new, either whether that's about yourself or how you do things and stuff. But I mean, I've had some jobs that are crazy experiences where I've had to really think on my feet and try and think of a solution for something that's happened.
Can you think of one? Sounds like you're heading towards a nightmare.
I mean, not so much a nightmare, but I recently worked on a Maltesers campaign. And the whole thing was like really up close shots of people like putting Malteser in their mouth, eating it, whatever. And the actor came in that morning, and I remember the producer came in frantically after me, like, he's got something on his face, And he had a cold sore.
Oh no.
Which is like the worst thing if this is the shot and you've got a big cold sore on your lip. But I had to be like, okay, don't panic. It's going to be okay. Thankfully, I'd already had this scenario on a job about 4 years prior to that. The same cold sore incident.
Same actual cold sore.
Same one. And I sort of thought of a way to hide it and disguise it. And actually, when he went onto set and went in front of the camera, it's that like nail-biting moment of, oh God, like I'd had to use lipstick on the rest of his lips to match in with the colour of the other cold sore.
How did you do it? How did you? I mean, did you have to put some prosthetics on there or something? Like, what is that?
It was literally just the trick of the eye. Like it was a bit red, so I mixed some lipstick colours together and made his whole lip the same colour. Weird, because he was like, "What are you doing?" But on camera, it looked invisible.
That is funny. I was literally, because while I was thinking about today, I watched a thing about how Henry Cavill, while he had to go back and do some reshoots apparently for like the Justice League or something, and he had a mustache on.
Yeah.
Because at the time he was doing a Mission Impossible or something with Tom Cruise. But unfortunately, Superman doesn't have a mustache, but because he was on Mission Impossible, they were like, you can't shave the mustache. So they had to like, instead of makeup, obviously makeup was like, well, there's nothing we can do with that. So it's had to do it after, like, post-production, and it just looked horrible. So I was imagining that you were going to say, I just had to like Elephant Man. I would have thought that the director or something would have been like, you have to eat it from a certain angle. Nobody's going to see that side of your face.
I know. It was just, I think they'd already had him in because it was like a conveyor belt of people that day. So he'd already gone in for his like test to see where he would sit, and they'd set up all the lighting, and I didn't want to go in and be like, guys, everything you've just done for the past hour, flip it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it turned out fine in the end. I haven't seen The Maltese's Job. I should try and look for that.
You should. It would be really funny. It's like, it'd be great if we could find it right now. And then you're just like, oh my God. what's happening?
It happened just before coronavirus, so it may be on pause.
Ah, yes. Everything is on pause right now, isn't it? Oh
yeah.
God. How crazy. But besides that, are there any projects? I know you picked out a few that we sort of teased in the thing there that you've picked out from your reel. But are there any projects that hold a special place in your heart, or is that or particularly personal for you, or memorable in some way?
Definitely a job I did back, 5 years ago now, for McDonald's. It was in collaboration with the World Cup and Facebook.
Is that what this is? I get you.
Yeah, the Fry football. Yes. So that job, we did 30 night shoots in a row.
Dear God.
Which was insane. And obviously, after those 30 days, the whole crew was just, we were a really small crew. The producer was actually my fiance, Toby, who's on the chat.
Oh, hello, Toby. I thought you were going to say was your fiance. I was like,
no, is my fiance.
Newsflash, Toby. I know you're in the other room, but
no, he's actually not here today. He's shooting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, only it's doing it over Zoom, so.
Okay, I get you.
Socially distancing.
I see. Sorry, carry on with your story.
Anyway, yeah. So he was the producer, so it was nice that we could obviously do that together. I was, as you can see, it's all chipped, so I was in charge of making sure everyone's nails were pristine when they were holding their chips.
Okay.
But we would basically have to watch the World Cup game.
Mm-hmm.
John, the director, would make up a scenario that we could then reenact with the chips. And it would all have to be done before like 9 a.m. the next day to go out on socials.
Oh, okay.
So it was intense. I think there was only about 10 of us on set, and by the end of week one, we were all like bringing in our slippers and coming in pajamas, and it was just really, really lovely to have such a community of.
Yeah. Oh, if you're in for 30 nights, I mean, damn, you guys better get along. Jeez.
Yeah, and it was everyone sort of had to get involved. Like that photo there, you can see I got dragged in to do some of the chip dancing.
Do you have to work? Do you work a lot with hand models? Ed, who's on the chat, is an ex-hand model.
Oh really?
Before we started doing this, he retired those beautiful hands. Do you do any like hand? I mean, like I hadn't really thought about that before. That's the thing. Do you do any hand modeling jobs?
I actually do a lot of hand. Oh, that sounds really bad.
I do a lot of hand jobs. Hey, don't we all, everybody? But you make it look good.
Yeah, I do a lot of manicure jobs, so I have to make sure everyone's nails are done.
Back. 1 second. I think it is back. Yes, it's back. We're back. Hello. So you do a lot of manicure jobs.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where did you lose me?
At exactly that point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I was just saying how it's actually quite surprising how many jobs there are where you need to be able to do nails. Even the Maltesers job that I was talking about, everyone's nails had to be perfect and their hands had to be perfect.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that? But has anybody ever been difficult with their hands? What is the worst? Without naming, have you ever seen a pair of hands? You seen a pair of hands where you're like, this is going to be hard work.
To be honest, on the McDonald's job, there were obviously the crew had to get involved some days because we were like doing the chips behind, and then sometimes we'd have to do them on the pitch. And some of the guys on set had horrific nails, but it was surprising how much that they loved having a manicure.
It is. I think guys, we don't naturally pamper ourselves. Well, at least most men don't. We're just pathetic at looking after ourselves. But then when it comes along and they'll be involved, we'll take a little bit of pampering.
Yeah, absolutely. They were by the end of it. They were like, "So, do you think I can get a manicure today?"
That's great. Hello to Hannah Bilverstone. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. We did have a little bit of a connection blip there. I think it was because we were talking about hand jobs that we just dropped, but not in the way that you think. So let's anyway, so one of the just to quickly segue off that quite quickly, one of the films that you highlighted for our chat was Absent, which was Libby Burke Wilde's film about period poverty for Dazed. It's just like suddenly take a serious turn here. And let me just quickly pull that up. With how did this experience to your usual work as a hair and makeup artist? Because again, this is in a more naturalistic film mode. Tell us about this project.
So this was everyone on this job was either one of my friends or someone that I work with quite a lot. So I felt really passionate about being involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Funny story, it was actually the scene where she's on the bus. It was actually during that crazy heat wave that we had back last year.
Oh my God, yeah.
And we were shooting on the bus, and the sound guy was like, "Guys, I'm really sorry, but we can't have the windows open."
Oh my God.
Because of the sound. So we were sweating. Like everyone had a handheld fan, but we had to turn it off when they were rolling because he could hear the fans in the background. So every time they cut, it was like, everyone get out their fan quickly, like cool down.
That must be a nightmare though, for keeping things sort of, as somebody who must be very meticulous and have attention to detail things. That must, like, you have like a lot of touch-ups, I imagine, even in something achieving a natural look must involve a lot of touch-ups in those kinds of scenarios in such a humid, hot. Oh, now I'm just looking at this bus, thinking about how hot it must have been, and I'm just thinking, oh God, was it hell?
I actually can't even explain how hot it was.
Really? Oh my God.
And it doesn't even look like it's that sunny on the film.
Yeah, it just looks like maybe muggy. Yeah, or not at all.
That's something I do love though about filming, is that you see an image and you see a video, but you don't see what's going on behind that. And like everyone had fans in their pockets, and like I'd stuffed tissues all in the actors' pockets so that when we cut, they could quickly like wipe themselves down.
Oh God.
You don't think about that when you're when you see something.
Yeah. So what sort of things? How do you sort of shift modes into? Because it's different from regular like live makeup or for performance or events and stuff. It is different for doing makeup for the screen, but of course then doing makeup in a natural look. Like how do you approach crafting natural looks in something like this? Because obviously general people would just look at this and go like, well, that's just, you know, if in this example, you know, she's just brushed her hair back and then like pulled into a ponytail and that's it done. That's absolutely not the case, right?
No, not at all. I mean, you kind of have to go with people's natural look overall anyway. Like every time I get someone that has to be in a real scenario, I always kind of ask them, how would you do this? Or how would you wear your makeup? Or how would you do your hair naturally? Because I feel like if you then do something that's quite personal to them, then they feel more confident because they haven't got their hair in a certain way that they wouldn't normally have, and they feel awkward because they don't know how they look. Do you know what I mean? I like making people feel beautiful in how they would normally look, but I'll just enhance it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. Quick question here. I'll just I'll just get a quick question in from Nick. Has everything got to be perfect all the time, or do you get to all the deep down and dirty Halloween horror stuff, I guess?
I mean, yeah, I do.
Actually, I think we actually can pull up the Halloween. No, I pulled up the Christmas one. Actually, we'll play the Halloween afterwards. What is? Do you have a sort of favorite mode that you like working in? Like, is it? Do you like the natural looks the most, or do you like crafting specific looks more? I think you've already answered that, really.
Yeah, I definitely have a particular like style and look that I personally like to go for. And I mean, I didn't even really know, it didn't even really click to me until I was speaking to Tara actually a couple of months ago, and she was like, "You're really into skin, aren't you? Like you can make skin look gorgeous." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I think skin is my thing." And that's where I like to show off my talent really, because I don't think many people do focus solely just on skin when they get a model or an actor.
What do they usually focus on? Are they like eyes and lips? Sorry, I'm such a guy and I know nothing about this. Where are they focusing?
I mean, for instance, I sometimes butt heads with DOPs and stuff because I'll do a makeup in my style, bring them down to set, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, they're too shiny," because they've got like glowy skin and it's all healthy and juicy and moisturized. And I'm like, I'm not matting them down. I don't want that look. So that, you know, that kind of vibe. I don't like the traditional matte caked look.
No, fair enough. That's fair enough. So do you in doing that, like how often who do you bump heads with most? Is it DOPs? Is it the director? I imagine you've got quite a good intimate relationship with the artist that you're working with because trust is involved. But who's the most difficult person to please on a set? The client.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. Sometimes it's actually fine, and people really like my style of how I do things. So it's not always button heads, but if it was, it's either lighting or camera that are like, "It's too shiny. Can you fix this?" Like sometimes people have natural texture on their skin as well, which you can't magic away with a half an hour in the morning. You know. So sometimes if the lighting is wrong, people's skin texture can look really off, and that people might think that's something that you've personally done to their makeup. Try and explain that, no, this is the lighting, or if you maybe put something just in a different place, that will all burn out and you won't see it. Because we're not surgeons. So we can only do as much as we can.
Is there it's not something that many people sort of think about. But are there certain things that you'd never leave home without, whether it's personally or for like a professional job? Are there like a few certain things you're just like, these are the things I need? I imagine it's a ridiculous thing. You probably got like a cart that you pull everywhere with you. But if you were to like narrow it down to like a couple of key items, you're just like, this is my go-to tools. 1, 2, 3.
Interesting. Well, for work use, I always have like an extensive amount of skincare in my kit, because I feel like in certain situations on set, if you do have to sort someone's skin out, if it's bad or a cold sore situation, if I've got stuff that can fix most things, like a quick facial in the morning or a quick, full steam or something, one, it'll make people feel nice, and two, it's helping me do my job easier because I'm giving them like a full cleanse in the morning. Their skin is fresh.
Yeah, I guess so much of that, of what you do is kind of therapeutic, because I guess you are there before the production is starting, and you're there to sort of support, make people feel good in that way. Is that an aspect of your character that you've always feel is there, more than making somebody look good? It's maybe building a relationship and making them feel safe or feel good about things. Oh, I'm getting off. I'm not even drinking yet.
Right, fine. No, I definitely, the main part of it is, for me, is making people feel good and making them, if they're feeling good and their skin's good and their hair's good, they might perform better that day, or they might be in a better mood because in the morning they've had a little pamper, or in the morning they've, I've taught them something new about their skin that they could do. So yeah, I think it's always important for us as makeup artists, as the first people that get cast and models and people, is to always make them, like, set them off on a good start.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Another piece that you picked out for us, I mean, you've picked quite a few. There's obviously the Clean Bandit Mama thing. We're not able to show the thing in full screen because unfortunately the YouTube don't like us showing music videos, but here it is here, just with a little bit of a time lapse thing that you've shared with us on the thing there. Tell us about this project and what it was like working on that.
Well, this was actually really really fun job for me. It was directed by Clean Bandit themselves, so it was a lot of pressure to get it right. And I remember we were talking about creating this Trump look for Neil, and he was so up for it. He was such a good sport. He loved it, and he really got into the character. But I remember I was quite nervous because Clean Bandit were there making the decision of, yes, I like this, no, I don't like that. So we went through a few wig try-ons and makeup try-ons, but in the end, I think it looks really good, and I really loved it. It was such a good video. There was so much going on. We were in halls. They set up a ballroom, it was insane.
Yeah. I guess this again answers your question then, Nick, about the Halloween kind of stuff, getting to redo all of them. Another one that you picked out, of course, was the Bumble campaign with King of Boza. Tell us about this one. I mean, this is a great campaign, a series of 5 films. Tell us about this.
Yeah, Bumble again I really, really loved that job. I really loved Kinga as well. Female director, loved working with her. Again, it was just such a variety of makeups that I could do for this job, and I sort of got creative lead and could kind of do what I thought, which doesn't often happen in commercials because it can be very, straight and just natural makeup, nothing going on. So it was quite nice to have some fun with it. Everyone had you can't really tell in the videos, but everyone had a unique nail design. which if you look really closely, you can see them. For each 5 films, everyone had a unique nail design, and they're all different. It was just a lot of fun, really, and I had a great cast to work with. Like, they were all so beautiful.
I guess even like putting in that detail, which I just caught a little bit of it there with the phone as well. You can see it, even if it's not necessarily visible in the thing. You are sort of influencing the character and also the performer themselves. You know, you're giving them that personal sort of touch and detail. That if you don't see it on screen, you certainly see it in other ways, whether it's performance or characters. That's quite nice to know. You ever give any guys some? Do any guys you think, like, you know what, this character needs a really good manicure? Or
No, I do. If I've got time, obviously, sometimes there isn't a lot of time, but I do like to give everyone the full pamper. I just think it's nice. It's nice to have it, and why not? If we're here and we have time, then you might as well have your nails done, even if you've never had them done before.
Just quickly to answer this, I see you guys retracting the question there, as if any questions go, guys. Don't feel like you need to retract anything on there. Linda, I saw that you asked any tips for nail care. Just generally, we're talking about it. Got any tips? You just like, everybody needs to know this about nail care.
Well, I mean, obviously everyone's got bad nails at the moment because no nail salons are open.
Yes.
It's tragic.
Yes, my girlfriend hates that reality.
It's bad, isn't it? But my top tip would, I guess, be get a really good cuticle oil and like get really in there on your cuticles. It sounds like it wouldn't do anything, but once you've done it, you're like, oh wow, yeah, fresh set of nails.
There we go. Cuticles, guys, get stuck in. Get stuck in.
Cuticle oil, number one.
Cuticle oil, the oil for.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want any dry, chapped cuticles. You need beautiful, pushed back cuticles. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll just.
And if you want some good boyfriend points, you should buy some and be like, I got you some cuticle oil.
Oh, and they'll be like, "What are you saying? What are you saying about my nails?" I've just noticed. We've also got. I'm just playing now the Marshalls one by Kevin Cass. I can never say this name right.
No, I don't know how to say his name. He's my friend, but I never know how to say his last name. He just called me Kev.
How what was it like working on this? We've got some behind the scenes things on this as well. With of course you're working with you do male grooming as well as women's hair and makeup, right?
Yeah.
So
I started off it like as a trained hairdresser, so I got barbering and all of that stuff, beard trimming under my belt, so it's helpful.
Yeah. And what do you have a favorite? It's okay to say, like, yeah, guys, not so much. The ladies.
I don't know. They're equally great because, like, guys, as you said, you know, they might be a bit hesitant sometimes, but once you get them a little bit relaxed in the chair, they're like, oh yeah, like, can I help you with that? Or, you know, bronzer, or they really get into it, and you're like, yeah, you can have, like, it's a safe place. You can have whatever you like. We don't need to talk about it. But yeah, I love both equally. It's all the same to me.
Well, guys, if you have any questions, get them in the chat because I'm just gonna keep on wondering about advice for nail care salons are closed. There we go. That's it. Also, homemade hair mask ideas. Hair mask. There's a mask for hair. You know what? Answer this question, then we're going to move over to my other set of questions. This is a good segue. Thank you very much, Linda. Hair masks. Go.
Gosh, I've heard that egg is quite good. I think
egg.
I've never tried it. I don't eat eggs, so I never have any to try. But
action.
Like yogurt is also good on your hair. I've heard beer is really good if you put beer on your hair and let that.
Really? Just soak into just like into the follicles.
Yeah, I haven't tried it. My favourite is castor oil though. It's not something that people normally have in their house, but if you've got any castor oil, if you like drench your hair in it and sleep in it, the next day you'll have.
Wow. That's very. Oh, Sorry, if anybody can hear my daughter, I think she needs somebody to look after her. Too bad there's nobody around to help her. Nah, she's fine. She's fine. On that thing, actually, we once talking about the hair masks. You work beyond your commercial and film work, though. Can we? I'm going to pull this up, if you don't mind me asking about your by Robin range. That is that a side project? Is this a recent side project for you, or has this always been in your sort of in your thing that you've always wanted to do? Is sort of discuss this thing? Because I guess probably because a lot of people come to you and ask all kinds of questions about beauty, skincare, and wellness is kind of part of your thing. Tell us a bit about this project.
Yeah, so I mean, naturally, as a makeup artist and a hairstylist, people are constantly asking me, what can I get for this? What should I do about this? How do I do this? Like, it's a constant question. So I thought back in summer last year, I was like, God, I just need somewhere to have all this information that people can have access to in one place, which I think is quite helpful. So I had a thought to do it, and obviously lockdown happened, and I can't work from home. So I thought now's a good time to start this. So
so this is a brand new thing.
this is new, yeah. It's been making for about a year, but I was always a bit nervous to be like, are people going to care? Do people really want to know what I have to say?
Linda cares. Linda needs it.
It's been really successful so far, and yeah, people are constantly like, okay, next, can you do something about this? And I guess I don't really know where it's going to go, but I'd like to see where I could branch out and potentially take it, and if I could make it a full brand, and well, see what the future holds for it.
Yeah, well, I imagine living in the world of high-profile artists, because of course artists generally tend to like to use the same people. Like you make me look good. I want you to keep doing it. But there's also, of course, influencers and content creators. Is that a direction you'd like to head in? Is sort of experimenting with? Because I just imagine that you maybe want to start collaborations. Is that something that could be? I mean, I'm just like, it already sounds fun to me, so you should do it, basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of possibilities that with collaborations and stuff, and working with brands, and maybe having a brand of my own, skincare, or the world is my oyster.
Yeah, awesome.
We're just going to see where it's going.
Yeah, the world is something, all right. So it might as well be your oyster. I think that's good. What do you think is it? Do you think there's always been a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit in you? Is that always been there, or is this kind of just a new thing? It's like, yeah, you know what? I want to turn my hand to branching out.
Well, I think it's definitely something that I've always thought about, and not just having one purpose. It's that I want to make this whole brand almost of myself, so many different parts. I want to do my makeup on set. I want to work with artists. I want to work with people. I want to share my knowledge. I want to share, my one true love.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good and noble thing. Oops, let's see, just kind of run away in this little box here. The connection keeps getting a little bit fuzzy. You guys are gonna have to forgive me for that. Can you tell me about this one picture? I've just pulled up the one where you're actually sitting down and you're wearing like little bags on your feet. Imagine sitting around and patiently waiting is, of course, like part of production things. What do you do to sort of distract yourself and pass the time?
Well, being makeup artist on set, you kind of do have to keep your alert on because it's crazy how quickly someone can mess up their hair or smudge something, or all of a sudden they're sweating. So you do have to kind of be alert,
Hmm.
but I mean, apart from that, it's sort of what phones are for, isn't it?
Oh, great! That is awesome, guys. If you have any other questions, please let us know. I don't want to bog down too much of Robin's time asking ridiculous questions, especially on a Friday afternoon.
I'm
um,
going to stick through the questions as well.
yeah, is there if you would this is something I generally ask to people, and I'd love to know from you if you were to give somebody starting out in this business, if you were to give perhaps a young Robin out there or yourself, if you give them to any advice, what would that be?
It's funny actually. I got asked this question the other day, and I couldn't think of anything that like inspirational to say
No, it
apart.
doesn't have to be as just practical. Just be like, don't go out with Greg. Easy. He'll steal your shit.
Yeah, don't ever marry a producer, because you'll be forever bored watching them always on the phone.
Ouch. Very Toby.
That is my life. But I always try and say, like, whatever you want to do, or however what you want to achieve, you have to just kind of have some belief in yourself. Like, sometimes I've had calls before for job opportunities, and I've been on the phone like, oh God, I don't know if I could pull this off, or if I could do this. It seems a bit out of my depth, but that's just, I know that's myself tricking me into being like, no, this is too big for you. You can't do that. But you have to try and believe in yourself and know that you're good enough to do anything. And if you put your mind to it, you'll smash it. And you have to have some, say yes always to everything.
Say yes to everything. That's a big one. Say yes to everything.
Well, like some people obviously only like to do certain kind of jobs, like they'll only do commercials, or they'll only do high budget films. But I think it's nice, especially in the beginning, sort of dip your toe in every area, like short films, music videos, still shoots, London Fashion Week, commercials, everything. I would try all of it, and then make a decision.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Is there anything? Do you have a favorite working between still work and moving image? Or is there something that you prefer about one over the other?
I guess still I get to see things more, because sometimes you shoot a commercial and you won't ever be able to find it on the Vimeo dark web. Sometimes, and you're like, oh yeah, if you see it on TV, you're like, oh yeah, I did that like 2 years ago.
Yes,
But I've no seeing it now. Whereas when you do stills, it's a lot more like the photographer will send you the photos back, or you'll see it in a magazine, or a billboard, whatever. Like, I remember I walked through Shoreditch one night, and I was coming back from the gym or something, and I saw this huge billboard up in Old Street, and it was a campaign that we'd shot from actually Marshall.
Wow.
And it caught my attention, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. And that's so nice to see it, like, in real life.
Yeah, that makes you feel pretty good when that happens, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a rare. Did you stand there for a while, just like pointing like, that me? I did that.
I wanted to tell everyone around me, like, I did this. This was cool.
Oh, amazing. Lily's asking a question there. Lily asks, what aspect of being on set do you miss the most? That's a good question.
I just miss working with everyone so much. Like, especially in the commercial world, it's such a big family of people that shoot together. You shoot together all the time, and you, like, the day before, you like look on the call sheet and see if you can find someone that you know, and then you'll text them like, I can't believe we're working together. Like, I miss the connection of being with other people a lot. And seeing my friends that are my work friends, and seeing anything really.
Yeah, seeing things. I keep staring out the window, just going, "What did other things look like? What would I do to just walk into a pub and?" Yeah, sorry. I'm wondering. Kate O'Shea. Hello, Kate. Kate asks, not sure if you've covered this already, but as a makeup artist, I'm prepping my kit for COVID, post-COVID jobs. What are you doing to make sure you are safe and ready when going back to work?
That is a good question.
That's a good question.
I have actually taken it upon myself to do some online sanitary courses.
What does that entail?
So it's basically like a guide. So one of them I actually posted on my Instagram and shared it for other makeup artists, but I can share it again. It was a course with Barbicide, and they have set up this question and answer kind of module that you go through and you do the questions. And at the end of the questions, if you pass them all, you get a certificate to say, I am now Barbicide certified clean.
What is it called? I see Barbicide. Barbicide. That's something, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, Barbicide, guys, do that. But have you gone so far as to buying? I'm sure that I know that production companies and stuff now are going to great lengths, especially with the APA, to be prepared with PPE and things. Have you gone so far as to buy anything to protect yourself in that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've been hoarding some PPE equipment already.
It's you.
It's not. It's me. No, but when it comes back into stock, I'm like grabbing it. But I've got some nurse friends who are telling me conflicting stories of what we hear online. So I think as long as you've got a mask and you've got your kit thing and you're protected, like I've now completely condensed my kit. It's hard for makeup artists to feel the pressure of having everything all the time. But I think production now will have to be a little bit more organised in that, we'll have to see the cast and then we can sort of analyse what we might need in our kits for that particular job so that we don't have to bring everything and, worry about contamination or cross-contamination and stuff.
Yeah, I suppose that, especially with something that, I mean, essentially, as somebody who had a cracked filling the very first week, with dentists are just like, hey, take care of your teeth, everybody, because dentists aren't seeing you. But in what you do, it's like it's very personal, intimate. It's like it's people's faces, people's mouths and stuff like that. I mean, like that must. Does that mean that you're gonna have to use like different thing? Are you gonna have to like be disposing? Like, right, I've used this lip gloss. I'm just such an idiot. Now I have to throw this away. I mean, like, does that have to come into your process now?
I mean, I already anyway had everything pretty much disposable. So if you use a lipstick, for instance, I would use a disposable lip brush, use it on that one person, keep that artist bag. Same with mascara wands. I know you probably don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, I'll just nod and say yes. Sounds great. Mm-hmm.
But I think now we're just, as makeup artists, we're gonna have to just ramp that up a couple levels and have a lot more disposable items, and we're just going to have to be really conscious. I mean, there's an Instagram called let me just check what it's called actually. It's called Sanitary
I'll look it up.
Sanitation Conversation.
Sanitation, is that one word or Sanitation Conversation? I see. I'm pulling it up.
It's a really amazing, if not like hardcore, sanitation Instagram for makeup artists to show you like tips and tricks and what you can do and how to like properly dispose of stuff and how to clean things and how to use disposable items. And they have an online course as well, which I've done. It was about £100.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but it took you through and gave you so many notes about how to keep cross-contamination happening, and just how to be really clean in your kit.
Yeah. No, I think that's really responsible and brilliant. That's great. Here we go. You got some other questions here before I do. Hope that answers your question, Kate. Lily asks, what do you think the biggest misconception is about your job, or is the most underrated aspect? That's a good question, but that's a big question for a Friday. I like it.
I mean, I think as makeup artists, sometimes we are a bit underrated and forgotten about. I think because we do our job in the morning, when maybe other people haven't arrived yet on set, by the time, breakfast is over, people are ready to go, and I've sort of done my job, and then people might see me, not really doing anything, if that makes sense, where, people might be running around or setting up lighting, or my job sort of gets done first thing in the morning, and then I kind of go in and check, but no one's really seeing that. So I think sometimes we get a little bit like, what are they doing,
Yeah, it's maintenance after that, isn't it? I mean, you must have to run after a lot of talent and just like get that slapping sandwiches out of their hands. What are you doing, you bastard?
Well, I'm like, take a straw.
Take a fucking straw, you animal. Good answer there. Here we go. Have we got another one here? Oh, just thanks, Robin, from Kate. I got that certificate too, but I will look into the sanitation one as well.
Yeah.
Hot tips here for you today. I'm just aware of the time here, guys. Don't want to take too much of Robin's time here. Plus, also, I want to leave some in the tank for maybe next time. Hopefully, you haven't. I know you were a bit nervous before we came on here, but hopefully it's been enjoyable.
Yeah, I've loved it.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, hopefully you'll come back again. Obviously, Tara, we're gonna make you send Robin our way again. Just bend your arm back and choose to come on. But really, we really appreciated having you on the show. Guys, if you have any other questions, let us know, or hit up Robin as well. On let me just reiterate those addresses if you want to go and find more of Robin's work. It's robin-cohen.co.uk. You can, of course, find her through her representatives over at Wizzo Co, which is wizzoandco.co.uk. And also, you can find her on Vimeo. Just go follow Robin on Vimeo here. Some of the work there. Just go and do it. We're already doing that. But anyway, with that, thank you so much, Robin. But before you go, I know everybody's been very excited about finding out about our community awards thing. Thank you so much for everybody who has entered or just contributed wonderful questions this week, and also the 5 points. Give me 5 points comments across our different videos. Through the wonders of technology, I will be choosing people with this wonderful thing that you will see right here. This is the Wheel of Fortune with everybody here. Wait till you see it, Robin. Robin's on her leg. She's gonna love this. This is great. I'm gonna put Toby in there. I'm gonna put Toby. It's Toby, Mr. I'm gonna call you Mr. Toby. Toby, you're in there, Mr. Toby. And who else? We're gonna put Kate O'Shea, because Kate O'Shea asked a very good question there as well. Kate O'Shea. I hope I'm spelled that right. So as you can see, but yes, everybody else, Linda, guys, I appreciate it. This is getting, you know what, Linda, I'm putting you in there too. Linda.
Yeah, you're in there. She's my mother-in-law.
Oh, mother-in-law, what are we doing? Well, this is biased. Okay, so here is this is very complex scientific here. If you can see within here, I have also put a little, because I just like games and junk like that. I put a thing here, so if I spin it and it hits no one, nobody gets this prize. Yes, I'm that guy. I'm that guy who gives nobody a prize now.
Well, no.
Do you? We're putting you in there now.
I want to win a prize.
Okay. This is so funny. Sorry, my spazzy writing there. Oops! Oh, we're rolling it. Here we go, everybody. Who's the winner? Who is the winner? Let's see. It's Toby Tompkins, which
Toby Tompkins.
can't believe he won. He's been here before. Toby Tompkins.
Well done.
Well done, Toby Tompkins.
Friday.
Not the right Toby. That's a different Toby altogether. So many Tobys, so few prizes, but congratulations. Again, thank you all for coming, and again to Robin and Wizzo. Thank you guys so much for coming here. Just remember to everybody, please follow Robin and each other if you can. Drop your socials and things in the links.
Robin, I'd love to actually know some of your guys' socials. Love to follow that.
There you go, guys. Do that and hit her up directly on the Instagrams. If you haven't already, are you okay with people DMing you on there with their questions after this?
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. Sasha Deb coming in with a late question right at the end here. Oh, all right, Sasha. How do you think will makeup application change post-COVID as people will be wearing masks? Do you think they will be focusing more on the eyes and the lips? That is an interesting question.
That is interesting and something that I don't really know the answer to. But I do know.
Have you started wearing a mask? What have you changed in your regime?
Well, yeah, I wear a mask when I leave the house now anyway. We started wearing gloves, and then my nurse friend told me that actually gloves are as good as useless, and it's better if you just wash your hands constantly, which is a good little tip there, which I didn't know. But I know some. You still there?
Yes. Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. I'm just wrapped by this thing. Do we need to be taking care of our faces beneath the mask? This feels like we're on Good Morning Britain or something. What are we doing underneath?
It's pressure, guys. I mean, I've seen people buying gowns and buying so forth, lots of different things. But I think until we actually get out and start shooting, we're not really going to know what works best. Like, I've seen these huge visors you can buy for makeup artists. But, I mean, me personally, I don't know if I want to go to work dressed in, like, scrubs and a visor and, that's not...
It's not how you roll, but I mean, you might have to. I feel for anybody going. I mean, like if it's anything like summer last year that we spoke about earlier, if it's anything like that, and you having to wear all of that stuff on a shoot with lights and things, God help you. Stay hydrated. There's my tip.
Yeah.
Stay hydrated, guys. It'll help do wonders for your skin, and you won't get a bladder infection.
Yeah.
Always, guys. Anyway, with that wonderful piece of advice, that is not at all weird and gross, thank you all for tuning in, and thank you, Robin. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Do you have anything planned?
Well, I think this is the last of the nice weather for a few days, so I'm going to sit in the garden and drink rosé.
Sounds smashing. I'm going to go and get myself a beer as well and just ignore my child duties. Be very popular. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for joining, and look out for Robin when we can coax her back again. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks so much.
No, thank you. Bye.
Bye.